amigos, it's time to bring the noise here on another AMA with yours truly ahead of the main slate of Week 7 NFL games. I'm going to be here rocking. I'm going to be here rolling for the next several minutes answering your pressing fantasy questions. So lock and load those bad boys right now. And these are the ways you get a hold of me at the bottom of your screen. Submit your questions via Facebook at Yahoo Noise, on Twitch at Big Noise 78, or on the YouTube channel there, and that is the Fade the Noise channel specifically, and hopefully my audio is going to be kicking on, and was absent there for a second, so hopefully you can hear me loud and clearly. Again, I'm going to be answering all of your questions via Facebook at Yahoo Noise, on Twitch at Big Noise 78, or on the YouTube channel and the Fade the Noise handle there. We're going to get you up to date on all the action across the pond in Jolly England, as it's kind of a scoring extravaganza. Patriots started off quite quickly in that game. Drake May was stealing, already 13 of 18 in this game with a passing touchdown, over 100 yards passing as well, and running the football. He's the leading rusher, believe it or not, for New England in the first half on just a couple of carries for 17 yards. Hunter Henry, a monster first half. The tight end position very much on the comeback trail right now. Brian Thomas getting it done for Jacksonville, 2 for 64 and a touchdown. Had a long, near 60-yard reception off the hand of Trevor Lawrence, who's got a $131 and a passing touchdown. And Frank the Tank going streaking, baby, on the quad, as Tank Bigsby, 8 carries, 39 yards, and a touchdown. Cha-ching! I thankfully cashed a ticket on Mr. Bigsby on the anytime touchdown there. And again, you can get all of my selections, including hopefully, maybe you're telling me on some of the action at the gamingjuice.com. I always free, transparent, and public spreadsheet is available there right now ahead of all of the NFL games. I got like 40 tickets open. And again, if you see the bet posted on that sheet, yes, I actually made it. And no, I'm not going to share my stupid tickets with you. I don't have enough time because all I do is make content and more content. And my hands are a bit tied here the next about 2 hours as I'm doing this show. And then I turn around quickly and I do the Bleacher Report show on the Bleacher Report app with my buddy Claudia Bellafato. Make sure you tune in that. We're going to go game by game there and give you booms, bust, and bank selections in Week 7. So, again, tune in there on the Bleacher Report app and check out the spreadsheet. Just click free picks at the top of the gamingjuice.com page, and you can access my spreadsheet. We got a ton of content on the site. We're rolling out every single week in college football as well. The NHL, Nathaniel Lundy, and also Brendan Velasquez churn out some content there. And, of course, all my fantasy football stuff available right now. And it's free at the gamingjuice.com. All right, while your questions are loading, let me give you an abbreviated Fade the Noise countdown. Of course, my podcast, I have a brand new episode tomorrow with Nathaniel Lundy. Numero tres on the countdown today. Give me Cooper Kupp. I'd actually grabbed this when this line opened on Friday. We were astonished doing BetMGM tonight, myself and my partner Ryan Horvat. We could not believe this line opened well south of 60. It was at 56.5 is what I grabbed at. I would still play Cooper Kupp on the over. 59.5 receiving yards, take it on Las Vegas. It's not like it's a outright intimidating matchup. Vegas middle of the pack and pass EPA defense, and it's Cooper stinking Kupp. They're not going to trot him out there if he isn't close or at 100%. I know we practice on a limited basis with that high ankle sprain. Hopefully he's not going to get twisted up in an awkward position and that ankle holds up the entire game. But you know he's going to get peppered with targets, working underneath. Probably going to be another 7-8 catch kind of game. That's the Cooper Kupp vibe. And if he gets that type of workload, he is going to easily surpass 59.5 receiving yards. So numero tres in the countdown. Cooper Kupp, fill it up on the over 59.5 yards. Take it on the Raiders. Numero dos here on this abbreviated edition of the Fade the Noise countdown. Give me Justin Jefferson. As I've always said, JJ is going to be dynamite. And that is a history that he's had, quite stirring history, mind you, against the opponent today, the intra-divisional rival Detroit Lions. I think he's going to go for 100 or more yards, which he has done in 6 of 8 career games. Let me repeat that. 6 of 8 career games, he's at a hundo against this team. And you look at Detroit, they're just number 21 in drop back success rate defense. Yeah, that's an advanced metric that I usually follow and track myself, and it's very telling. And if you peel back the layers of the onion, the primary DB he's going to face in this game is Terry and Arnold, who's allowed the 22nd most yards to his assignments, 221, who was allowed a 91.1 passer rating to his adversaries as well. 3 wideouts have gone for 100 yards against the Lions this season. I think Justin Jefferson just adds his name in that list. A guy averaging 17.3 yards per reception. It could be 7 of his last 9 games going for 100 yards against the Motor City Madmen. All right, numero uno on the Bring the Noise abbreviated countdown. Yeah, we're going to get down with some Chase Brown and some maple syrup. So tasty. And ILL. My mind is still abuzz. I was at the game yesterday in Memorial Stadium. Very festive atmosphere. Rededication, if you will, to the 100 years, the anniversary of that fine facility. And Illinois went in and took care of Michigan in front of a legit packed house. There was not an empty seat in the place. Nearly 67,000 jam-packed in a Memorial Stadium. And they saw my ILL get the victory, 21-7. I cannot believe it's mind-blowing. This team is 6-1, but maybe a large slice of humble pie coming in Eugene next Saturday. Illinois Open is 21.5-point underdogs against those Oregon Quackers. But I love Chase Brown. I'm going to say he gets in the end zone yet again. Give me him for an anytime touchdown. Plus 150 at FanDuel. Yeah, get seduced by that juice, guys. You look at Chase Brown. Yeah, he's number 30. Okay, decent. And total red zone touches with 10. His opportunity share in the season at 44.3%, but that's rising. He's top 10 in yards after contact per attempt, top 9 in explosive rating as tracked by playerprofiler.com. He scored a tutty in 3 consecutive games. And then look at Cleveland, not intimidating opponent. Number 19 in rush EPA defense. They're good at 4.47 yards per carry, and they've allowed 6 total touchdowns to the running back position. So getting down with Chase Brown. I think he goes for 60 on like 13, 14 rush attempts, and he finds the end zone there as well. Hey, friendly reminder, I got any questions for me? I'm about to dive in right now. These are the way to get a hold of me on the Bring the Noise AMA. Consume him via Facebook at Yahoo Noise, on Twitch at Big Noise 78, or on the YouTube Feed the Noise channel. Let's go ahead and start tackling some of these bad boys. Already a ton of them coming in here ahead of week 7 and that main slate. And hopefully everything's going right for you so far in this Jacksonville and New England matchup about to kick off the second half. Batting lead off, Willie Page Jr. says, rub-a-dub-dub, the Chubb Club reopened for business after they were shut down for renovations. Did you go Nick Chubb? Do you go with Alexander Madison in a standard league? This is entirely touchdown dependent. And you look at the matchup here on paper, obviously it's outstanding for Nick Chubb. It's a matter of workload. Now, truth be told, I bet in the alternative market on the under 50.5 rush yards. I think Chubb's only going to get about maybe 7 to 9 carries today. Maybe he gets 1 catch, but they're going to ease him in after the long layoff and the reconstructive knee surgery that he underwent last season. So I'd probably step off of that play, and I'd rather go with Alexander Madison. Zamir White, highly questionable. He may not be active for this game. Madison, believe it or not, though he is a bit of a ham and egger, is a guy that's been a bit of a touchdown scoring machine here of late. So you're probably going to get more of a workload with Madison. Look at the matchup taking on the Rammies or the Sheep. They're number 31 in rush EPA defense. Is outstanding on paper. Give me Madison. Wait a week on the Chubb Club. Hockey.41 on Twitch says, hola, amigo. Hola to you. Full point PPR. Wandale, Pickens or Chubb? Chubb's out for all the reasons I already mentioned. Pickens is interesting, whether looking like Russell Wilson's going to be under center. I talked to an athletic reporter, an insider for the Pittsburgh Steelers on BetMGM tonight on Friday, and he said that Russell Wilson and George Pickens were really working early and often on the side. Ernest Johnson, man, nice little run and catch there off the hand of Trevor Lawrence, already pretty close to the red zone, or the Jacksonville Jaguars' opening drive here in the second half. But I would probably go with Pickens. Out in a PPR, obviously, Wandale's probably got the highest floor. Probably going to be good for at least a minimum like 5 catches, but what kind of yards you going to get? Like 30, 35? That's entirely on the table. I think Pickens has more explosivity, more upside overall, and Russell Wilson, you could argue, is a better passer than Justin Fields. So give me George Pickens under the prime time lights. The only sense is, hold on, Migo, half point PPR. Zay Flowers or Deontay Johnson. Johnson's banged up. He's dealing with myriad setbacks, but he did reportedly look good in practice on Friday. The matchup is splendid. It really is spectacular. Taking on the Washington Commanders, who are number 30 in pass EPA defense on the season. However, I think that Baltimore-Tampa game is going to be a pew, legit shootout. Guys going to be popping off left and right. And Zay Flowers working in the middle of the field in between the hash marks. I think could really be a dirty worker in that game. Probably a higher floor, honestly, and maybe even a higher ceiling than Deontay. So give me Zay all day. The only son, Grant Sambo on Twitch says, hola, Brad. Need a flex in a PPR. Austin Eckler, Juju, or Brian Robinson Jr. Also Mahomes or Geno. Believe it or not, I'm going to go Geno Smith over Patty Mahomes, who's number 20 right now in fantasy points per game. We're living in the upside down, no question about that. The other one's tight here, given the PPR setting. Do you go with Robinson or do you go with Eckler or Juju? And Juju's interesting, but I got to go with B-Rob. I mean, the Hello Kitties of Charlotte, man. Carolina is near the dregs of the keg and rush EPA defense. I think Robinson's going to find the end zone. He may not catch a whole lot. He may have like 1 or 2 receptions, but who cares? I think he is a near L word, near G word for double-digit fantasy production today. Good luck to you. Joe says PPR Whittington, Ayuk, Pickens, or Brian Robinson. Again, Robinson is in for me. Can swap Robinson for Walker if he's out. Well, yeah, he can do that. So he's the crutch and lean on. Walker, of course, popped up yesterday. Is questionable with an illness. So hopefully he's going to be able to go. I need him desperately. It's slim Pickens right now on one of my 14-team rosters. But Robinson's going to be in no matter what. And if Walker is out, I would probably honestly go with Pickens. Slight advantage there over Brandon Ayuk, who could have a quiet game today, taking on Mr. McDuffie, one of the better cover corners in the NFL. J.R. Gil Padilla says Garrett Wilson, Deontay Johnson, scary Terry McLaurin, Devontae Smith, pick 2. Thanks, amigo. 100%. Scary Terry's in. I've got a ticket out on him for 75 or more receiving yards at plus 110, and I grabbed that at BetMGM. I think he could go for another 100 yards, which he's done in 2 of his last 4 games. Then I will go with Garrett Wilson. Slight advantage over Deontay Johnson. I'm just worried about Johnson's true health. I mean, he may be operating at like 80, 85%. The guy is a true blue warrior, and the matchup is splendid and quite spectacular. But Garrett Wilson could be peppered with targets underneath. And might see more man-on-man coverage now than Devontae Adams is a New York Jet. Bandit says Vikings or Bills defense this week. Minnesota taking on Detroit. And then you look at Buffalo, you're taking on Tennessee. You're taking on Mason Rudolph. Although Will Levis is a bit of a giving tree, if you will, in terms of opposing defense and special teams, it's Buffalo, and it's not remotely close. Vikings might have more points against, but more points scored as well. Yeah, that's the issue, the downside there. As Dearness Johnson takes it down to the 5-yard line for the Jaguars, knocking at the door of 6. It could be a throw fest for Drake May. I'm going to look at some of the live lines on him if he wants some player prop action on pass yards, and I might take the over and comfortably so on Drake May. Anyway, TB12, BB6, hola, Brad. Flex PPR, Tank Dell or Hunt. Very close. I actually have Kareem Hunt. If you read my article on the Fantasy Football Flames at the running back position, I went with Kareem. I think Kareem's going to probably get anywhere between 15 to 20 touches today. Probably a couple coming through the air at a minimum. And if there is a defensive weakness for San Francisco, it's defending the run. They're only number 18 in rush EPAD on the air. So I think, again, it's that floor ceiling conversation I always harp on. I think the floor is much higher for Hunt compared to Tank Dell taking on the Green Bay Packers. Ryan says, hola, amigo. Hola to you. Need 2 wide receivers and a flex between Amari Cooper, not sit. Marvin Harrison, definitely in. Jordan Addison and mandatory Montgomery. Well, there you go. My answer is Harrison, Addison, and mandatory Montgomery, you jackal. You can't fade the guy. You just can't do it. All he does is score a touchdown. So the latter 3, sit Amari Cooper, who's still learning the offense, and I just bet a ticket on the under receiving yards on him. I think that line was like 39.5. Shane says, hey, Brad, Bucky Irving or Trey Sermon and a full point PPR. Man, messes a situation really for both these guys. Look at Bucky Irving. It's going to be a straight up triumvirate. And that's a fancy way of saying a full-blown RBBC with 3 running backs. It's got to be Bucky. It's got to be Sean Tucker. It's got to be Rashad White. So, it's going to be a hot hand situation, very rotational in nature. I'd probably side. Ooh, looks like a touchdown. Yeah. Oh, incomplete. Christian Kirk, I thought he got both feet in, but they said incomplete pass in the back of the end zone. I'm going to go Sermon. Slight advantage there over Bucky Irving, just because it's really indecipherable how things are going to shape up in that backfield for Tampa. Hockey Nut 41, if Kenneth Walker is out, would you rather start Chubb or Eckler? Ugh. Eckler's interesting. They're probably going to get some of the workloads, honestly. So it's all about maximizing the matchup. Really, the matchups are both spectacular for both guys. I'll go with the feel-good story. Give me Nick Chubb by a hair. Thomas is hurting at running back. Bucky, Tracy, Goodson, or Algier. I love Algier today. I have a bet out on him, 40 or more rush yards. I may catch a couple of passes as well. But I think it's going to be more of the same. Him and Bijan are going to work beautifully in concert together. And the matchup against Seattle is just splendid. The Seahawks are giving up 5.22 yards per carry to the running back position and 124.5 rush yards per game just to RBs. Algier, this could be another 10-carry game for him. If he gets the kind of volume, it's going to be probably, honestly, north of 50 yards. It may penetrate into the end zone as well. Good luck to you, Tommy. Peter says, go Giants, Hunt or Aaron Jones. I go with Aaron Jones in this situation. Very close. I have these guys nearly back-to-back in my rankings, which I haven't even got an opportunity to update this morning. But I think Jones will have a little bit more in terms of fantasy value today than Kareem Hunt. Good luck to you, Peter. Anthony says, hold up, Brad. Tequila shot to you. Yeah, there were a lot of them yesterday in celebration of Illinois knocking off Michigan for the first time in 15 years. These events are very rare. Who to start at tight end? Tucker or Andrews? I actually love Mark Andrews this week over, Kraft is interesting to say the least, and a guy that's been a breakout sensation. But Mark Andrews is back, folks. Coming off the 66 and a touchdown, is he going to be able to replicate that? Possibly. Tampa is not the most intimidating and scary secondary that is out there. And I think he's got to, continue to run routes around 60, 65% of the snaps that he plays. Could be a handful of targets. Could be like 40 yards and a touchdown. I'd love Andrews. I already bet on him on the over 27.5 receiving yards when that opened at BetMGM. And that was on the always free and transparent spreadsheet there at thegamingjuice.com. At running back, I'm going Hunt. And quarterback, Kirk Cousins over Mahomes, believe it or not. Brandon says, hola, Brad. Pick 2 wide receivers and a running back. Scary Terry in my lineup. Mooney, Juju, or Algier, or Mason. A whole lot of ors. Okay, so give me Mason at running back. Terry is in. Mooney is in. I would say Juju. It's close, though. Really close. Steve says, hola, sir. Hola to you, Steve. Goff or Darnold as quarterback 2 in a super flex. Give me Sam Darnold. Again, if I believe that Justin Jefferson is going to get 100 yards, who's going to be throwing the pill? There you go. Gypsy Queen, Buenos Dias, Tracy or Sermon. I'll go with Tyron Tracy, even with Devin Singletary back. I think Tracy's still going to lead that team in touches, especially in the past game. Remember, he was a converted wide receiver out of Mizzou, so a guy that can certainly rack up yardage through the air. Jeremy says, pick 2. Wandale, Ridley, Tyrone Tracy, Pittman, Mark Andrews. Holy cow. Also, hammering now, naming her in a Group 5 playoff spot. Daddy want, daddy need, daddy gotta have it. Saluting the midshipmen. I would love to see it. How about Army, too? I mean, it's great. Military academies, usually Air Force is the best of the best when it comes to the academies, but they are drinks of the cake this season. Army and Navy are ranked and for real. Running that typical like old school wishbone offense. I absolutely love it. It's great to see fresh blood out there in the world of college football. So yeah, let's go with Mark Andrews again. I think he's going to find the end zone this week, and I'll go with Pittman as the other option there. Hopefully, Anthony Richardson will actually connect with him. He's only 6'5". Mark says wide receiver 2, standard league, or Ridley, cringe. Wandale, Slayton, or Lazard. I'll go with Alan Lazard. A really good shot that he's going to find the end zone tonight. GFGF, at point PPR, Deontay Johnson or Xavier Worthy. 100% I'll go with Deontay Johnson. My opponent has Mahomes. A reason why I'm considering Worthy. Look, I know you're all about canceling out, and that gets in a lot of people's heads. You're like, oh, that's a sage strategy. I'm going to make some moolah as a result of it. The whole point of fantasy is maximizing production. Despite the connectivity or cancellation of the other players involved, you want to try to get the most points out of your dudes possible. So Deontay Johnson, a greater ceiling despite him being banged up than one Xavier Worthy. Clint says, hola, senor. Would you start Shakir or Vidal instead of Irving or Tucker in a full point PPR? No, I mean, maybe Khalil Shakir over Bucky Irving, but I'd probably go with it too. Man, I really don't like the 2 running back formation of Tampa, not in that matchup. Taking on the Baltimore Ravens. They have just been so stiff, so stifling against the run this season. So you got to diversify. So, yeah, take Tucker, ride the hot hand, and I will go with Khalil Shakir as the other one. I think Kupp is going to be out, question mark. Well, we're going to find out on Cooper Kupp. The indications were that he was going to be active, but we won't know until later on this afternoon. Jason says, Mahomes or Brock, ain't he so purty? I'm going to go with ain't he so purty over Patrick Mahomes, who just continues to be on the struggle bus. Addison says, Jonnu Smith over 2.5 catches at plus 120. Indy giving up 3+ catches to tight ends 4 weeks in a row and 5 in the last 6 games. I think that's an excellent call and a tremendous value there at plus 120. Hopefully I'll get a window of time. I'm going to fire up the old BetMGM app, and I'm going to lock and load that sucker, and we're going to ride and sweat together, Addison. Good luck to you. Jeremy says Wicks or Watson. Not Watson. I'm going to go with Mr. Wicks. Jason says Achane or Chase Brown. Super tight here. I actually like Achane quite a bit. I bet on him 50 or more rush yards. Somehow got that at plus money at BetMGM, really almost inexplicably. So, look, I like Chase Brown. I am as a anytime touchdown bet as well. I think they're going to be comparable numbers. But I think Achane coming off the 1 week CS, they got to establish the ground game. You can do that against Indianapolis. They're number 23 in rush EPAD. Yeah, give me him. Give me him all day. Gypsy Queen says Jaden Daniels or Joe Cool. Man, a lucky 7 situation here. I'm going to go with Jaden Daniels. Again, I think that game is going to be fireworks on display. A lot of pop, a lot of sizzle. Obviously get it done on the ground, get it done through the air as well. In a game that could be like first to 30 wins in that Carolina and Washington matchup. So Jane Daniels, bad news. Clint says Senor, which is start Chandler, Clayton, or Braylon Allen in the standard. All right, who's going to score a touchdown? Or who has the best chance to score a touchdown? It ain't Clayton. Probably ain't Ty Chandler. I guess it's Braylon Allen, who really took a back seat to Breece Hall last week. Don't like the matchup, but, that's where I got to go. Oh, yeah, Daddy has always won the sledgehammer. Calls for it every single week. And we're going to follow up with this question. With Kupp probably not playing, needs some PPR wide receiver help, Lazard or Ray. We're going to find out if Kupp plays. It's still not officially determined. It may be growing bleaker by the minute. But, yeah, obviously you can wait this thing out because you have the luxury of Lazard. So if Kupp is out, you pivot and take out Lazard. Simple as that. Good luck to you there. Mo Diesel, start 1.5 point PPR. Judy, Trey Tucker, Palmer, or Tutu, rank them. I'll go Judy just because the opportunity is going to be there. I will go Tutu Atwell. I will go Trey Tucker, then Palmer. And it's like Judy and then everybody else. Pretty far down the ladder there. Good luck. Jeremy says pick 2, Higgins, Deontay, Tyreek. Give me Higgins and Tyreek, please. Gypsy says Jameson Williams or Deontay Johnson. I'm going to go with Jameson Williams, JMO. Sean says, hola, amigo, Mahomes or Gino. Give me Gino. And Guillermo says, hola, Brad. Hola, Guillermo. Full point PPR, need 1 and a flex. Jordan Mason, Aaron Jones, or Josh Jacobs. Ooh, Jacobs is really interesting. Thanks. And the Sledgehammer came in on karaoke last night. Oh, yeah. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. That's a jam, man. It's been covered by so many people. It's a great karaoke jam as well. And if you have no idea what that song is about, listen to the lyrics and listen to them closely. Salacious. Oh, controversy, Mr. Gabriel. No, look, Sledgehammer's a jam, and you've got incredible options here for a flex and a PPR, like in an 8-man league. I will go with Josh Jacobs. I think he finds the end zones really close between all those guys. Clint, uno más, senor. An SMG question. Gibbs for 4 receptions. Oh, this is a SGP question. So Gibbs for 4 receptions. Mixon 8-time touchdown, like that. And Waddle and Moody for 4 catches each. Fade or follow. Somebody's going to screw that up. I mean, Waddle's good for 4 every single week. He'll probably get like 35 yards out of it. Mooney, yeah, pretty close. I think the weakest link there is Jahmyr Gibbs. You don't really know what you're going to get with him in the pass game. He's been under this, I believe, in 3 of his last 4 games. So that's the only leg that really gives me hesitancy. I do like Joe Mixon on the anytime touchdown score and the market there. Jeremy says, I'm on raw anytime today. Let's go. Yeah, I can get on board with that. I have some yardage props on him. I got him in the alt market as well in receptions. I mean, the matchup is just delectable on paper. Going to see a whole lot of Byron Murphy out of the slot. One of the friendliest slot corners and just DBs in general in the NFL. J-Mo could have a lot of success there when he lines up in the slot as well. So, yeah, I think that's a great call with Amon-Ra St. Brown. Shots is 1.5 point PPR. Jordan Mason, Aaron Jones. Enjoy reading the juice. Great stuff. Yeah, thanks for getting seduced by the juice, baby, on thegamingjuice.com. Nice little reception once again for Brian Thomas. He's having himself a damn day there in jolly old England. So, Sean, I'm going to go with Aaron Jones. Slight advantage there over Jordan Mason. Very close, though. And thanks for checking out thegamingjuice.com. Peter says 3 Yankees win. Rest of season outlook for Mostert. Oh, the Yankees win. He said not 3. Yeah, well, more than likely the Yankees are going to win. They're going to face the Dodgers. Nobody saw that coming remotely. I mean, I predicted that preseason before the playoffs. There wasn't a whole lot of a juice attached to that matchup, and it's playing out. I mean, they've been the best 2 teams really in baseball all year. So it is a left coast, right coast, Biggie, Tupac matchup for the ages, potentially there in the World Series. And the rest of the season outlook for Mostert, I guess, is bench fodder at this point. I mean, Devon Achane is a more explosive guy. I still think he's going to lead that team in total touches. Mostert will have his moments, but that's about it, just moments, because you have other backs obviously lurking and right in that backfield. Johnson, hola, amigo, and a PPR, Ertz or Otten. Give me Ertz. Joe says Zach Moss or Braylon Allen or Kenneth Walker the third. If there's any news that Walker's playing, well, we don't know yet. The last I heard, he was questionable with an illness. Maybe he's getting an IV drip. Hopefully he's going to be good to go. Don't know what's bugging him. Obviously, Walker is in my lineup if he is active. I don't care if he's like practically, if he's got like 105 fever and he's going to play, I would still play him. So give me Kenneth Walker out of that group. I guess your backup option is Zach Moss, and you're praying for a touchdown. Daddy want, daddy need, daddy gotta have it. I need Illinois Authentic helmet from last night. Yeah, man. Great. I don't have one. I think you were hitting me up, Phils, on the X at Noisy Huevos, asking me, hey, Evans, look at one of those helmets. I heard they were like, they took 2 hours to hand paint every single one of them. The leather helmet style commemorating the 100 years of Illinois Football Memorial Stadium in Red Grange. I don't got any connections there. Sorry, bro. Can't help you. Brad says, Waddle or Dobbs? I'll take Romeo Dobbs. More potential there for a touchdown. Jeremy says, Hunt or A-Chan? Give me Devon A-Chan. Johnny says, Richardson or Murray? Give me Kyler Murray. Also, Mason, Walker, Robinson Jr. need 2 running backs. It's going to be Walker if active and Robinson. If Walker sits, obviously that answers your question. Next up, Steve says, how do we feel about a little two-legger? Anytime TD, King Henry, love it. It's like minus 200 juice as a standalone. And Kyron Williams, also love it. I think that's a great call there. You're plugging that at like what, plus 120, plus 125? Yeah, bro, the show doesn't get seduced by that juice. Yeah, I think that's a great call there. Joe says, Zach Moss, Kenneth Walker III. I think you already did that. Danny says, Connor or Hunt and a flex. Give me James Conner by just like an inch. Eduardo says, congrats, Atlanta, whipping on my old faithful Michigan. Hey, I appreciate it. And the Michigan fans that were there were cordial and nice. And they're not quite like Ohio State fans, who are not the nicest, most cordial people. But Michigan fans, props. I mean, you got a mediocre team. You're still riding the high. You won a national title last year. We don't have these moments in Champaign where we get a sellout. You get 2 nationally ranked opponents at home. The last time that happened was like the year 2000, and it happened to be Michigan, and Illinois got the victory. It was just a glorious day. And it was a glorious day, period. It's like 75 and sunny. Perfect day in Champaign. Eduardo says, or let's see, he needs an RB2 between Irving or Sermon. I go with Sermon. I don't feel great about it. Noel says, hola, Hurts or Cousins. Give me Hurts. Johnny says, thanks, Brad. You are on fuego. Well, sometimes I am. Sometimes I'm not. That's what gambling is all about. It's all about riding the highs and absorbing the lows. Fade or follow, as I always say. That is up to you. All right, that is a wrap on this edition of the Bring the Noise AMA. Appreciate all of you participating. Again, please do me a favor and go to thegamingjuice.com right now. It's my site. Subscribe to it, baby. It's free. I don't charge you a single penny at thegamingjuice.com. I'm cranking out content for free, folks. We're all working gratis right now. My EIC, Joe Lago, the best in the business, been along, his ride for like 20 years now, going back to the Yahoo days. Nate Jacobson, Ben Wittenstein, cranking out all kinds of awesome college football content. Nate Lundy, Brandon Velasquez. I mean, we're all working for free. Hopefully we'll make some money eventually. But been at it now 8 months, trying to grow this thing brick by brick. So help us out. Sign up for an account and read our excellent content today at thegamingjuice.com. Also, don't forget, I'm going to be on the Bleacher Report app here in about 30 minutes with my buddy Claudia Bellafato answering your fantasy questions, breaking down booms, busts, and bank picks every remaining game on the Week 7 slate. Go out, kick ass in Fantasyland, win your bets, and until next time, adios, amigos!